It is time for our weekly arts and culture segment. We have our culture correspondent Song Yoo-jin in the studio. Welcome.
Good evening, Jung-min.
What do you have for us today, Yoo-jin?
Well, so Jung-min, as you've just seen from Taebyok's live cross, it's been raining really heavily here in South Korea this week, and also with a lot of schools starting their summer vacation season, I'm pretty sure that a lot of our viewers are wondering about what to do this summer, and one option could be heading to the theater for a good movie. And this year, we've been seeing a couple of movies that have been showing really remarkable performances in the box office. For example, for Korean films, there is recently the third installment of the Roundup series, and for foreign films, there's also the Disney Pixar animation Elemental, but it's been quite some time since we witnessed bustling crowds at movie theaters. So for this week, I delved into the reasons why fewer people are going to theaters and what can be done to reverse this trend. Movie theaters have been going through a rough patch for the past few years. First, there was COVID-19. Hopes were high for a comeback after social distancing rules were eased, but it seems that things haven't turned around just yet. The number of people visiting movie theaters in South Korea during the first half of this year only reached half of what it was in 2019 before the pandemic. So what's causing this sluggish rebound?
Streaming services expanded their business significantly throughout the pandemic. As the cinema industry suffered, many film professionals shifted toward these platforms. As a result, we've seen a flood of high-quality original content on streaming services.
Another factor at play is the price of a ticket.
Going to the movies is expensive these days, especially when compared to the lack of diversity in the films being screened.
Movie theater chains in the country raised ticket prices multiple times during the pandemic, citing a loss in operating profits. A ticket now costs 14,000 won on weekdays, that's around $11 and 15,000 on weekends, so around $12. This costs more than most of the priciest monthly subscription options among streaming services available in Korea. However, there's hope for recovery. It's summer season for theaters, which means a flurry of blockbuster Hollywood and domestic films will hit the big screen. The stage is already set, with the Roundup, No Way Out, becoming the first film this year to attract over 10 million viewers, while Mission Impossible 7 enjoyed the best opening day among foreign films that premiered in Korea this year.
The news of these films attracting such large audiences could further drive people to the theater to check them out.
But to really revitalize the movie theater industry, it's time for theaters to undergo a transformation.
If theaters show other content too, like they did with live streaming the Olympics, I definitely come more often. Watching those competitions on the big screen really pulled me into the excitement of the games.
The key is to create an experience that only theaters can offer through top-notch sound systems and special effects. Customers prioritize value for money, so if they're paying extra, they expect something beyond what they can get at home.
By adapting to evolving audience expectations, theaters can reclaim their position as a cultural hub.
So, Yoo-jin, for those who plan to head to movie theaters, what are some films they can look forward to?
Well, there are quite a lot of options that I can recommend. So starting from Korean speakers, 4 flagship domestic movies are set to hit the theaters very soon. One of them is a movie called Smugglers, directed by Ryu Seung-wan. He's a really renowned director here in South Korea for his previous hit films like The Veteran. And in the realm of sci-fi, we have The Moon, starring star actors Seol Kyung-gu, Kim Hee-ye, and Do Kyung-soo, who's also a member of the hit Korean K-pop group EXO. And then there's the disaster film Concrete Utopia and the action-packed Ransom. And also for foreign films, Christopher Nolan, who is the mastermind behind Inception, Interstellar, and the Dark Knight series, his latest work, Oppenheimer, will premiere next month here in the country, and Barbie by Oscar nominee director Greta Gerwig will also premiere next week.
I can already feel the excitement by some movie fans. And what is being done by a theater industry to ramp up demand?
Well, we've been seeing a couple of efforts recently, and one thing that streaming platform users were really, they found it comfortable was that Korean subtitles were always available for Korean movies from the moment that these contents were launched in the platforms. And this is really different from movies that are on screen at the theaters because it usually takes about a month for them to be fully equipped with Korean subtitles and also screen reading services for people who need them. But Smugglers, which is the movie that I just mentioned, it premieres on July 26th. It will offer Korean subtitles from day one, and this is actually the first Korean film to do so. And all you have to do now is buy tickets for the Korean subtitled version, just like you buy tickets for a dubbed version for a foreign movie. And also from this month, if your annual salary is 70 million Korean won or below, which is roughly around 55,000 US dollars, and your credit card spending makes up more than a quarter of your income, you can enjoy a 30% tax cut on movie tickets paid with credit, debit cards, or cash receipts.
All right, that was a useful information. Our culture correspondent, Song Yoo-jin, thank you.
Thank you.